All right, welcome everybody to Changing of the Hip Hop Gods podcast. I am your host, Uncle E. That is my partner, the Journalist Sinseer. And today we have none other than UFO Feeve joining us, man.
You
Thank
know
you for
that.
joining us. It's a pleasure, man. How you doing?
Thank you for having me, man. It's an absolute pleasure. I'm rocking, man. I'm here. I'm blessed. I ain't tripping. We don't complain neither, man. We holding it down. Grown man shit.
No doubt.
Cool. So if you could do us a favor, man, for those who might have not heard of you, can you take us back and tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from, and how'd you come about?
Absolutely, man. Well, first and foremost, my name is UFO Feeve. I'm a Latino male, grown up, born and raised in El Barrio, Spanish Harlem, New York. Grew up in hip hop. Grew up in New York City in the heart of Thomas Jefferson houses. So Black Rob, major influence, G Dep. I was around for that. My father was always in the music industry as well, man. He was in a freestyle group called TKA from back in the day. So he's always been active in this thing. So I've always been around since since the Immaculate Conception. I've been here, man. I just posted a picture today on Twitter of me like 6 years old in the projects with Fredro. He was shooting strapped in my neighborhood. And
Mhm.
there's a clip in the movie where he's walking through to go visit Bokeem Woodbine. He gonna shoot at him, and I'm in the movie. You know what I'm saying? And you see him walking right by me. So I've been here. I've been in hip hop forever, man.
Nice. Yeah, that's dope, man. Your pop's classic group right there.
Yeah, legendary. That's the
Word.
vibe, man. Late 80s,
Hell
early
yeah.
90s. If
Hell
you was
yeah.
outside, if you was getting girls, you was definitely playing that TK, that Maria. You know what I'm saying? That
Word.
Moe Love, that Louder Than Love, all that good stuff, man.
Man. So you know what? Before we even get a little bit more into you, how was that though growing up, having your father in a group like that?
Um,
Like, was it crazy? Like, what did was there a lot going on? What
it
did you
was
see?
crazy in the sense of like I definitely was there for a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? But I was still in the projects, you know what I'm saying? So like it was still like a little bit of a reality mixed with like because my dad was young and successful and he was out and I was with my grandma, man, and I was in the middle of the jacks and people wouldn't believe that was my dad. It was like, your dad
Right.
ain't TK. But I ain't really, you know how they always say like your kid, you're not really successful to your kid.
Mm.
It's like, so I never knew like the impact my dad had. I would see him around and go, I would always go with him to the studio and see him around famous people. I got to meet, a Method Man, those kind of guys early. It's a little kid, but my dad was always like, I'm not like I was hard to impress. Like that was
Mm.
his favorite thing. Like, yo, you're not excited by nothing. No matter where I take you, you know what I'm saying? So I think early on it was kind of like a dichotomy, you know what I'm saying? Of like, yo, that's my dad. I know he does his thing. And like I'll be like, yo, I knew that when to say his name, you know what I'm saying? I already like had that experience, but then like I was still in the project. So it wouldn't really like when people would be like, oh, your dad's in TKA, I'll be like, yes. So you know what I'm saying? Like I'm over here. So it was kind of like a dichotomy of like still living and struggling and family stuff. My grandmom's riffing with them, you know what I'm saying? So I will be seeing like things that will humble me to understand like, yo, we still thugging it out on you know what I'm saying? Even though my dad is doing his thing. So it kind of led me to like understand, I wasn't like a celebrity kid, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right.
Before getting into music, what were some of your early interests and hobbies as a teenager?
Basketball, man. I was playing basketball. I was pretty good. I made varsity my freshman year. My dad had moved me upstate to East Fishkill. So my ninth grade year, my freshman year, I played ball in a high school called John Jay High School. It looked like a college, I'm from Detroit, so that big campus, upstate stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I tried out. I made the team and I was balling out. But unfortunately, I was already turned out. You know what I'm saying? I was already a street kid. Like I was already like not doing things like not a mischievous kid, but like just being in the streets was my thing. Like I wanted to be outside. I wanted to go hang out with the front homies. I wanted to be in the basketball court. Like I would much rather like have play ball in the tournaments in my hood that had been on the varsity team upstate. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't my vibe. So I was acting out upstate, doing a lot of things that I wasn't doing in the city, messing with like I got into like, funny enough, is like that's when I met the drug dealers, you know what I'm saying? Like upstate is when I was getting turned out to like the real thing, like because it was like dudes in the school who already had cars and was like selling, they doing their thing, and like me being from the city and kind of thugging it, you know what I'm saying? Because I was still wet behind the ears, but like I really didn't give, I didn't care, you know what I'm saying? I was wearing bandanas up there, you know what I'm saying? I got my bandanas on, I'm sitting in class with my Timbs on, I'm like real project stuff, you know what I'm saying? And the upstate kids that were in the streets took a liking to that. You know what I'm saying? They was like, oh, the New York kids. So like, even though I was in ninth grade, I was still not experienced. They were turning me out to these things like the guns and all. Because in my neighborhood, even though that was going on, that was like an adult thing. You know what I'm saying? As to where now, like you might have a 14-year-old kid with a gun now, you know what I'm saying? But like back then, it was more like a little older, you know what I'm saying, more mature, and you knew who these people were. Like it wasn't everybody, you know what I'm saying? It was a select group of few that was really putting in that pain. So I was kind of we were shelled from that early on, you know what I'm saying? Like it would be like, yo, click, like in my projects, I don't know. I would think it was like, yo, it's like, yo, everybody, yo, clear this out. The old ladies already knew, like, yo, everybody leave. Everybody got to go. This shit's about to get crazy. Like, unless it was some quick, sudden, but it will, the word would get out, like, yo, it's about to go down. Everybody go upstairs, clear this out. And, but when I went upstate, man, it was like the wild, wild west. You know what I'm saying? It was going down. So when I came back, I was like, yo, man, like, I don't want to be up there. I want to be here, So I was showing out and I was hanging out with the wrong crowd. And my dad, I would do things because my dad was like, even though he was an artist, he's very disciplined. My dad's a martial artist. He was into karate. He's into like real disciplined stuff. You know what I'm saying? So he was a school dad. He wasn't with like none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't kidding about none of that. Everything was school. Read some, summertime I was reading books, doing book reports before I could go outside type stuff. You know what I'm saying? He was very, very stern. So which kind of helped me now. It not kind of, it actually is what led me to be, you know what I'm saying, more skilled with the wordplay and knowledgeable to certain things. Cause I was my friend. I remember my cousins, and I come outside and everybody be laughing like, "Yo, what you was reading again?" You know what I'm saying? What you was upstairs reading. You know what I'm saying? I even got a skit on Magnum on Enigma Dolly where one of the homies from my neighborhood had left me a voice note in my DM, and he was like, "Damn, I remember you going upstairs to read and shit, telling me like you gonna be a rapper, that you want to read and shit." And so that was kind of like my upbringing. And basketball was everything, man. If it wasn't basketball, comic books, basketball cards, baseball cards, riding a bike with my crew around the projects. Just early young. It wasn't really, the streets was different, man. We ain't really have to get turned out too early, so we got to experience some of the stuff. So yeah, that was pretty much my hobbies, man. What I grew up doing.
Dope, dope. Uh, Talk a little bit about your early influences before you started writing. Who were you listening to early on?
Well, I remember my dad bringing home, how the Wu-Tang stuff. I was young soaking that up. But like when I became like, when you able to understand, you know what I'm saying? My first time like actually like looking for somebody on a CD and being like, yo, it was Beanie Siegel, man. I remember that I had got a DJ Absolute mixtape upstate my ninth grade year, and I had this Russian neighbor, and like he loved hip hop and stuff, but he was straight from Russia. So like he had I had caught the Absolute tape from the city from K7, which was in TKA. He had gave me the he was working at High 97 at the time doing late nights, and he had a bunch of mixtapes, and he gave me like enough mixtape and like a bunch of tapes. And I remember the Absolute mixtape had Crew Love, Beanie Siegel, Memphis Bleak, and after that, it was a Crew Love and then 1,000 Bars. They went right into each other. And I was like, yeah. And I remember back in the days, you couldn't really read the fonts on the mixtape.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just seen Beanie Mac. So I thought it was Beanie Man. So because it just said Beanie Mac. It didn't say Beanie Siegel. It was none of that. It was Beanie Mac. But
Right,
the font was a little like,
It was
so
real, yeah.
so I'm thinking it said Beanie Man the whole time, and he's rhyming, and I'm telling my pop. I remember being upstate telling my pops like, "Yo, Beanie Man," and my pops is like,
It's
"That's
like,
a
nah, that's a reggae, yeah.
And I'm like, "Nah, pops, you gotta listen to Beanie Man." And I'm playing, and my pops is like, Beanie Mac." Like I'm like, "Oh," like, and that's when I was like, "Damn, this is what made me want to like get in my bag and rhyme." When I heard him, it was like I remember it like broad day, bro. I heard everything, Nas, all that, but when I actually heard like Beanie Siegel, it was like, damn, man, this guy's amazing.
What was it? His wordplay, the way he put, like, what was it?
It was the way he broke down Monopoly. Because in Crew Love, he breaks down the Monopoly board where he's like, break down the whole strip like Monopoly, and dare one of y'all to land on my property. Think you getting dough from my community chest? Blow, blow, two to your chest. If you can't pass go, is a cost to pass. And y'all niggas cheap like Baltic Gab, the type to land on jail, can't pay your bail on the ball from the bank. Player, what you think? I'm the wrong one to lie to. It's still
yeah.
I'm the man who supply you. And I was like, damn, bro, that's like, because I was surrounded by drugs and stuff. So I'm like, damn, he's talking like that, like how I would like,
right.
how like the young cats who were like a little older than me, but were like hustling under the guys that were like big time. That's how they were talking, like in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was in 8th or 9th grade, the guys who were like in 10th, 11th, and 12th, who were like, coming to school with that Massimo and all
Right.
that stuff, advancing, and that's how they was talking. So I'm like, oh nah, this is kind of like turn me out. And that's what stuck with it, man. The way he broke down that Monopoly joint, I was like, I never heard nothing like that.
I forgot about that one, man. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that joint.
Yeah, Crew Love, man.
Crazy. Jeez. Fire.
How did you get involved? Take us back to your early creative process in writing, and at what point did you start taking it serious?
Originally, I was writing poetry. I was writing stanzas, and I had a teacher who was like, she was like Afrocentric back then, you know what I'm saying? Like very like for the people and stuff before I had any knowledge of self. And she would make us write like about ourselves, about our neighborhoods, on our free time and stuff. And she's the one who told me about like poetry and like how to form a sentence, and like poetry doesn't have to rhyme. You know what I'm saying? The deepness, and introduced us into like, different poets and stuff like that. So it started with that, twin. And then I used to write like, I'm 30 plus. So like I'm from the era where like, if you want to, I used to write, I used to write like Tupac's rhymes. Like I used to stop the tape, listen to what he said, write it down, you know what I'm saying? Play another 4 ball, stop, write that. I remember like doing that for Toss It Up. You know what I'm saying? When Tupac's Toss It Up, I remember I had the black Panasonic twin, the Trapper radio with the 8 batteries in it. One, you know what I'm saying? And I was listening, and I write down the first 4 ball, stop, just so I could rhyme it back. So it was like writing the rhymes was like exciting, you know what I'm saying? Like listening to what he's saying and then trying to decipher it, and then performing it, you know what I'm saying? Like in the mirror, like when it with the comb and all that, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So because I would go away for the weekends to like my mom's and stuff, and my mom's lived in the Bronx, like on 149th, at 3rd Ave in the South Bronx, you know what I'm saying? And my mom's was into a lot of things. So like I would be in the crib, she would just like be like, yo, like stay here, you know what I'm saying? So like to pass the time, I would just listen to the music, you know what I'm saying? And like she had a fire escape. It's like an old Bronx tenement building, you know what I'm saying? She had the fire escape in the window, twin, and I used to put the speaker in the window because she lived like on the 3rd floor, and it faced like 3rd Ave, like the main joint. So I would put the speaker in the window and play my favorite songs and see how people react, like walking by. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you play that joint and people look up like, it's cocky, you know what I'm saying? And I used to do that, twin, and just be looking out the window, seeing how react, and be like, go back, put another joint on. So like to kill my time, it was mostly like music, you know what I'm saying? Like being in the house, wasn't no internet or nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? So I just spent a lot of time with music, twin. That's really all I have no siblings. And when I did start having siblings, I was already a little older, you know what I'm saying? So it was like I had nothing but time.
Right.
Can I ask you a question? So you're from El Barrio, right?
Yep.
What growing up in El Barrio and in the city in general, you're surrounded by so much culture, different cultures. Um, can you talk a little bit about some of the culture that has influenced you besides, let's say, like, Puerto Rican culture?
Absolutely, twin.
Yeah, can you
Absolutely.
get into that a little bit?
Um, Jamaican culture, that's like that's my second nationality, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it is, that's what hip hop is anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like that's where it come from, the sound boy and all that good stuff, man. I've studied a lot of cultures, man, from the 5% knowledge of self, the brothers, to Rastafari, to Judaism, hung out with Islamic brothers, the Muslims, you know what I'm saying? And aside from that, black culture, twin, I'm from the projects, you know what I'm saying? So it was just Puerto Ricans and blacks for a lot of the time. I didn't know, it was like, yo, the Chinese people own the restaurant and everybody else is straight Puerto Rican and black, you know what I'm saying? So when I was like, my dad had put me in school, maybe in middle school downtown. I was going to school on 77th Street. So my dad always, like I told you, he was school savvy. So he was always smart, like using other people's address to put me in better schools and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So like once I started going to school out the hood, then it was like I was like getting experience to other cultures, you know what I'm saying, twin? And it was kind of like I had a Brazilian friend, you know what I'm saying? I had an Indian friend, a Mexican friend, and it was like, oh, because originally, like, you ain't really interact with nobody where I'm from. Like, you would, like, the Mexicans were on 116, twin, you ain't go over there. It was pain, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, yo, you went from these projects, bro. You don't leave here, because if you leave here, you on your own. So like anything that comes in here, we could protect you. But if you step out, they gonna ask you, so like, yo, where you from? You know what I'm saying? So, and once you say you from here, you pretty much you on your own. So like it took a little while before we started like actually like venturing off and going downtown and stuff like that. Cause it was always like some drama or something. Even if you wasn't a part of that, it was always like so I was very much influenced by growing one of those dudes who was like able to jump to projects, twin, and meet like the Jamaican families who told me about Bob Marley and Peter Tosh and the Wailers, you know what I'm saying, and told me all that, and be able to like get to experience different things and see the like with all the Mexican family who told me about, you know what I'm saying, this and Machu Picchu and all that good stuff. And so it was just like took a little while than I would have liked it to, but once I got developed, twin, and I started traveling, I started making some money, I was out. So I was visiting places, you know what I'm saying, and jumping on flights. Like we did Miami like the first 2 times with the crew. I was like, all right, I'm over this. I'm out of here. So like when everybody was going to Miami again, I was like, nah, I'm going to over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go with this girl. We gonna fly over here. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. So as I traveled, I became well versed and experienced, twin.
Very dope. Very dope.
You spoke about that crew earlier on. Were you pursuing a solo career, or were you in a group?
I definitely was in a group, twin. I wouldn't say like a group to like where we made music, but like if I had to reference it, it would be like a Children of the Corn. You know what I'm saying? Like how people start off and then everybody branches off, like that
Hmm.
kind of thing. So like they were collectives in my neighborhood because I'm from that era, twin, where people was battling. Like they was pulling up on the block asking for me. You know what I'm saying? Like Originally, so like in my hood, like they call me Mookie. Like that was my street name. Like I was Mookie. So like everybody knew me as Mook. You know what I'm saying? Once I started being in the street, it was straight Mook. So like nobody knew Feeve. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was rhyming as Feeve and stuff, like I was very like it took a little while for me to get out my shell. That's why like my story, even with Rob, when Rob named me, he told like, yo, I heard you got a little fever. Like he was addressing the fact that he heard I was rhyming. Like, yo, I heard you got a little fever out here. You know what I'm saying? Because dudes were going, like, I started like jumping in ciphers with like the dudes who knew my dad and stuff like that. But like not purposely, it just be like they'll be rhyming and you know that like, yo, my man is nice too. You know what I'm saying? Like who? And it'd be like Moop, like yo, let them hear something, bro. And they, I go off and that's where the UFO thing came from, because it's like, yo, nah, we never, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what? You've been seeing it the whole time, and then I flow and they be like, nah, we didn't expect that. You know what I'm saying? Like grown man though, as a little young, and I'm saying I would jump in them joints. And it would be like, because all it took with me, one time I lost one battle, twin, in front of the whole hood, twin. Dude tore my ass up. Yo, man, nah, too much. When he tore my ass up.
You remember who that was?
He ain't getting no love. You heard? Nah, the way he tore me up to it, he know he got that on me. Like, yo, but I had a cousin who was a little older than me, and he was like, yo, you feeling yourself. Like, he wasn't jacking that. Like, yo, you think you nice, because I was in the projects just, I didn't leave, twin. So he like, yo, you really think you nice, like, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, ain't nobody better than me. And he was like, all right. He went right up the block, twin. He didn't even have to go far, you know what I'm saying? But like I told you, I was so inexperienced leaving the block that I didn't even consider that there will be somebody else across the street that's nice. I thought like, yo, once I'm nice here, it's over. Like, I'm nice. Nigga was like, all right, you think you nice? I was like, yeah, I'm nice. He went right up the block to the next projects, and he brought some kid back, fat kid, you know what I'm saying? Like, not playing, he had his face straight. We all looking at him like, man, you can't be serious, you know what I'm saying? And yo, bro, he went off on me. And it wasn't that he just had the hunger, twin. Like, I was like, already feeling myself, and he was a dog, you know what I'm saying? So when he was attacking me, he was landing his punchlines, and he was like, I was more like, I was writing verses, I wasn't writing like battle verses, twin. I was writing like, I was already knowing song structure and stuff because my dad. So okay. I knew like what a 16 was. I knew how to write a verse. Like, I'm the one who taught most of the dudes like my age in my neighborhood how to count the balls and stuff, because I already knew. So I was like, yo, I remember my dad taking meetings with artists trying to come up and stuff in my grandma's crib, twin, and him overhearing them telling them like, yo, bro, if you can't write a hook, I can't help you. You know what I'm saying? I remember being there, my dad like telling these dudes about the industry, like, yo, you got to know how to write a song. And these were dudes that like in my hood were nice, the older ones, you know what I'm saying? So I would be like, all right, like, yo, you see Rob got, you know what I'm saying? Like, he would be talking industry stuff. So that would always stick with me. So I was always writing music, twin, like songs, topics, writing about, I had a song where I wrote about my projects, twin, but I said everything twice, like the sitting on the park bench while the bench park, you know what I'm saying? I was saying everything backwards when I was already like doing stuff like that. So that's right. Why I had people like, yo, this kid is crazy, because I would do that in the ciphers. I would do those verses. So when those wasn't hitting though, when homeboy was spitting that like when he came with that battle shit, my song verses wasn't hitting. Niggas was like, yo, he was saying shit like, yo, leave you like Boston with red socks. You know what I'm saying? Like just like that. Twin, everybody like, whoa, crazy. I was tight. Like, nah. My cousin that brought him, I didn't even speak to him for like, for a minute. Twin, I was tight. Like, set me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, long story short, I end up running around with the dude who burnt me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like my cousin was like, yo, I told you dudes are better than you. Like, step your joint up. You really think? So I was like, yo, what's up with these dudes? Like, they was a little crew. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, yo, I'm gonna bring you over there to the studio with them. You could flow with them. So like they let me start writing with them and flowing with them and stuff. So that kind of like put me amongst spitters. I was just with street dudes, you know what I'm saying? So like now I'm in the studio with actual MCs, and that's what made me like get into that like gear of like, I gotta be ripping heads off type vibe, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I remember it was around, I never forget it, when Joe Buttons had the Pump It Up. Remember
Right,
when
right.
I did the remix and all that?
Yeah.
I did a freestyle to that, and I did a freestyle to Crack had a Fat Joe had a song back then. It was gangsta,
Oh
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
gangsta.
Mhm.
My daddy was a gangsta. I wanna be. I did a freestyle. I paid for studio time, and I did 2 freestyles to those two twin. And that was the day when I came back uptown with that on CD, where everybody was like, "Nah, it's him."
Nice,
Like
nice,
those
nice.
2 freestyles, twin, is
Yeah.
when I came back to town on the gangster joint. I just went like crazy. I remember saying something like "get you clapped like backboards," like early, like I was just going crazy. And I remember bringing that uptown, twin, and everybody was like, "Oh, I had found my pocket." You know, I was
Okay.
rhyming like I like now I know how to attack, and I was saying that aggressive, and I was landing it. So when I brought the CD back uptown, I remember like everybody was outside in the cars and all that, and they put it on, and the gangster joint, like the Joe Buns joint was rocking. Everybody was like, "Oh, that's." But when the Fat Joe joint, everybody was like, "Oh, nah." And that's when I was like, I would hear the freestyle in the projects playing in the windows and all. I was like, all right, like we got it now. Like it's time to step it up.
Right. What led after that? Are labels looking at you? Are you looking for a deal at the time, or are you taking the independent route?
Twin, believe it or not, twin, I didn't know what independent was, bro. Like, you know, at that time, you know, about all that Talib, Kweli, I thought that was underground. I didn't know what independent was. So everything we doing now, like the independent stuff, I was already doing that. So it was
Mm.
like, yo, I was printing up merch for because pardon me, guys, you will want to go wherever you go, which is yes, you know, that's hip hop, man.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Put your stuff on.
That's before me, man. You can see Crazy Legs with his name
Hmm.
on his shirt with the top with the iron on letters. You watch B Street, everybody repping their crew from even to the Warriors. That's just
Right.
real shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we would go anywhere 20, 30 deep out the projects and we would throw our shit on.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I was
Right, right.
going to get merch for all of us. You know what I'm saying? I was already doing that. So when we pull up anywhere, they'd be like, "Oh, yo, those, that's them." You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
that's them. So it was like, "Oh, all right," we was doing that. And my first offer came from Slip and Slide, twin.
Wow.
At a record course, she's a 10. So it was like a same time around the Dream joint, but it was
Mhm.
like hip hop though, and I was you know bouncing on it. Shorty, she a 10, saying she a 10. You know, early on, I was like I told you, I was just writing music, so I was very experimental. I didn't know what my sound was. So when I would do
Mhm.
underground hip hop, hardcore, but then I knew, you know, my favorite rappers were Beanie, T.I., Jeezy, you know, so I knew like to try to get in that bag, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Right.
It sound, you know, commercials at the same time. So I was doing stuff like that. So my wife, who was just my girlfriend back then, she took it upon herself to send out my CDs. Like I said, we would just record music and I would listen to them and study to I never really planned on putting it out. And she mailed um we had got the double XL one time and they did an article on like top 30 CEOs or something like that. And on every person they had the information. So it'll be like Shakir Stewart, Def Jam, floor 734, you know what I'm saying? 264 Western, you know what I'm saying? Like the address. So she took all the information and was like, yo, look, it's telling you where they at and all that. So we mailed out like all the CDs to and it was the homies from Slip and Slide, man, that sent us, you know, sent for us and hollered and all that, man. And I ain't have no money for no lawyers or nothing like that. So I just, you know, I was going through the motions of like enjoying it, but I knew I wasn't gonna sign because when I got the contract and stuff like that, I was like, shit, I don't got no lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Like that just was always in my head. Like, you get business, you get a lawyer. You go to jail, you get a lawyer. Like, that's always been in my head. Twin. Like, I'm saying, so it's like, yo, I don't go to jail if I don't got lawyer money. That's how we do it where we from. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
Right.
bro, you're gonna put that pain in, you gotta have some type of shit, get
Mhm.
away playing. You know what I'm saying? It was the same thing. Like, yo, bro, I'm not signing this. I ain't got nobody to look at this. And I could read a little bit. So when I'm reading, I'm like, damn, these words is funny, tricky.
Yeah, yeah, it's a different language.
That was my first one, twin. The second, we kept going from there on, man. And my second opportunity was with Puff. Puff was the second one. This was like in 2016, twin.
Oh wow.
So you fast forward all my life. I get to the point where I recorded Mr. Nice Guy. And I'm dropping a record called Mr. Nice Guy on a project called Camouflage with a young producer from Tallahassee. His name is Backpack. Nobody knows me, twin. I'm still in the streets. I'm doing my thing. My uncle just passed away. So I'm like very hard on myself at the time, you know what I'm saying? And by God's grace, it's Puff called, man. And when Puff called, I don't know if he wanted some or I don't know what it I in hindsight, I know what it was, but at that time I didn't know what it was, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, this is crazy. So he called, man, and he offered me an opportunity, but more or less, I just think I needed the phone call at that time in my life. I was really down on myself. So I was miserable. I was depressed. I'm almost 30. I'm probably like 30, 31 types vibes, just reaching that age where like you feel like you're supposed to have something going on. All my friends are successful around me, at least at what looks successful, buying cars and all that stuff. And I'm putting it all on the line when I'm in the streets, right? And every time I finish what I'm doing, I got enough money to pay the rent and studio time. Like that's all I got, twin. Like even when I take it to the top, I'll flip something right, everything goes right, and there's enough balance, and it's pay the bills and studio time, twin. It's like God never let me get more than that. You know what I'm saying? He never let me 745. He never let me see the fruits of my labor in the streets. It was always like go back to the studio, like go to the studio, because it was like that's what people knew me for. That's why I would be the studio. I'm going to the studio, you know what I'm saying? So it was always like that, twin, and it just became a part of my grind, you know what I'm saying? And then that's what led me to be independent, because when Puff called, the words he said were more important than the actions, you know what I'm saying, twin? Like where he put me in my mind, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like I know I didn't record it or nothing like that. So like it'd be like I got this joke with my wife, like, yo, people never gonna believe, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I remember going to the neighborhood and telling my cousins and all them, and they all like life changed, bro. Like everybody was like celebrating, and niggas taking me to lunch that day. All like, man, I was like, oh, this is crazy, bro. So it was like, you know what I'm saying? When he called, man, he just like I was very depressed, man, and I felt like the call pretty much put me where I needed to be. He just picked up like somebody I have a homie who had posted me who's very popular and stuff. So I guess somebody has seen it and they reached out first. It was Puff's actual assistant. So he called me, but I'm like, he hit the DM, I'm like, all right, whatever, more or less. This is early Instagram too. It's not really too popping, but I'm like, everybody's accessible, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, he pretty much was like, yo, listen, I was in the studio last night. I was listening to I have dropped a project called Taxes. So I had a song with Matthew Ragazzino and another joint on there that was like hot, that he said he was interested in, that he was playing it and Puff heard it. So he was like, yo, he really like you, man. He rock with you. So I'm like, oh, that's what's up. I'm like, oh man, I don't want to get ahead of myself. And long story short, twin, like a week later, homie had sent me some beats to work on because they was working on music. So he was like, yo, work on some joints and I'll pass them, along, and hopefully it get picked up. We get some, opportunities. So I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Get some money. I'm starting to get my spirits up. No lie, twin. He sent me the beats. I recorded like 4 songs that next day and sent them right out. I recorded them like I was Puff.
Right.
So I'm talking like big shit. I'm talking like, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, he calls me right away, like, yo, Fee. Oh my goodness, these is crazy, bro. So I'm like, yo, that's what's up, man. Like, And he's like, yo, I'm gonna call you back though. Let me call you back. So when he calls back, he's like, yo, Feeve. I'm like, what's up? He's like, hold on, somebody want to talk to you. So when he passes the phone, all you hear is like, yo, Playboy. So I was like, I was in the car too. I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the first thing I told him, I thank God, you know what I'm saying? I was so humble. I was like, yo, I was like, yo, if this really is Puff, man, like, yo, just know that God is great, man. Thank you so much. He started laughing. Like, yo, I like your style, man. Like, you really good. I'm like, yo, I'm laughing. And he's like, he just tells me what he thinks about me, man. And he held me in high regards. And that shit just lifted my spirits, man. And after that, it was like, all right, we off to the races. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't even matter after that. Like, if he came or not, none of that. You know what I'm saying? I just needed to hear that. Like, yo, you got it. Somebody with his caliber of telling me, like, what he thought of me and how high regard he held me with the pen. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the first thing he said. He was like, yo, bro, I don't get on the phone with nobody but the God, the top. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, bro, you one of them. You're gonna be one of them. Just stay focused, you know what I'm saying? Like, keep that same hunger, that desire, all that good stuff. And yeah, that's what I needed, twin. And that's that after that, I was like, yo, independent or major, whatever, we just gonna keep going, you know what I'm saying? And it turned out to be a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? Playing with the
Right.
dogs and staying where I need to be. And for some reason they respect it. Nobody's God is great. I ain't been jammed up, you know what I'm saying? In all the situations I've been in, everybody has been cordial, amicable, and understanding, you know what I'm saying? And even when I'm playing with the big dogs, it's like, yo, Feed, what you want to do? You know what I'm saying? So it's a blessing, man, to be a little bit of both, but I'm fully independent with major friends.
Dope.
Nice. Are you so since you just say you're fully independent though? Do you have? I'm assuming you have a little team around you though that helps you with your business and everything,
Absolutely, man.
right?
I have my attorney, most importantly, you know what I'm saying? He's the go-to
Yeah.
man. He's more important than anybody. And then anybody else, not more important, but he's just as important as everybody. And then everybody else been with me since forever. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
My I pretty much put my friends to work. You know what I'm saying? They all shift positions, whatever they got to do, whenever they want to do it. And sometimes they don't want to do it, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they be like, yo, Fee, they got lives too, you know what I'm saying? So I also have backup contractors and relationships of people that I just keep everything glued together, man. I try not to burn a bridge, and I try to keep everything cordial. And for the most part, if it's business, then I handle it like business. And if it's cordial and we working on a goal together, then we gonna get there. You know what I'm saying? I make sure I carry the team.
After your conversation with Puff, where do you find yourself, and what project did that conversation lead to?
It led to camouflage.
Okay,
It led
2016.
Yep, it led to
Okay,
camouflage, which led to Mr. Nice Guy, which led to me and Joe. You know what I'm saying? Because as Puff called, like I said, my uncle might have died like that week that Puff called, and then that following week or two, it might have been forgive me, you know what I'm saying? Time is, but it might have been within a short time span where I blacked out. Where I went through another depression, puffing, I was expecting more. Like I said, now in hindsight, I could tell y'all what the conversation really meant and what it is, but at that time I was still head high, the ego, like, oh man, hoping something happens major to get my family in a better position, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't. So I blacked out. So I started writing, you know what I'm saying? And then I wrote that Mr. Nice Guy and Camouflage. And by the good graces, man, Dre from Cool and Dre heard again the same person who posted me that got me noticed by Puff posted Mr. Nice Guy and got me noticed by Dre, man. So that person's forever in my heart and I'm indebted to them. But after Dre heard it, man, Dre called me. He got my number through a mutual friend, and he was like, yo, I played your stuff for the Dawn, man. He wants to meet you. I was like, I thought I was gonna go to Miami. He like, yo, he in New York, man. You're gonna have to pull up on him tomorrow. Go by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So like from there, twin, that next day I woke up bright and early. Dre shot me the address. At the time, he said he was, and he was like, "Yo, bring the trophy home." And I went and I met with Joe, and from there, man, I've made a friend, and you know what I'm saying, and a business um, mentor. You know what I mean? Someone that's been very instrumental in giving me the science to be where I need to be. You know what I'm saying? Because even with the stuff Joe showed me on how to be successful in the business, it's allowed me to navigate my own career. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't necessarily have to follow directly in anybody's blueprint. You know what I'm saying? I'm at a point where like I'm doing what I do, but yet if I ever wanted to try to do it this way, I know how. You know what I'm saying? But if you comfortable doing it like this, then you good right here too. You know what I'm saying? Like wherever you want to go, feed whatever you want to do, type thing.
What year was this when you made the connection with Joe?
2016,
2016.
I met him
Okay, so
I met so Puff called. It was like Puff must have called in June.
it was a little bit after that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Puff must have called like in June that year because my uncle died in June.
Mm-hmm.
So Puff must have called June, and then by like December twin, I met Crack December 3rd. I remember. I got the pictures. That's how I remember. You know, it said the date. It was December 3rd, 2016, twin. I met him.
Did anything materialize between you and Joe? Music, wanting to sign you to a deal? Was it just establishing a friendship?
It was a little bit of everything. You know, Joke had a situation at Rock Nation he was working on, so I took the opportunity to try to flagship the situation. So we dropped some songs. We dropped Rafe featuring Ken Jones, and we dropped Fentanyl Flow, and we dropped Nightclubs featuring Spice as well. Or those were records I got from the situation with Joe. You know, I was blessed to obtain those relationships and those records, even though Fentanyl Flow and Nightclubs are dropped through my label independently. You know what I'm saying? Joe let me take off with those records. It was all experience that I couldn't replicate it or duplicate it any other way because when things didn't work out with Joe, not with me and Joe, but when Joe decided he had other plans, he was able to amicably call me and just be like, "Yo, Fee, listen, this is what I'm going through, man. You know, I think it'll be better off." And unbeknownst to him, man, I'm giving you guys the first that like I was building myself up to have that same conversation. You know what I'm saying? How do like, yo, Crack, listen, I know you doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know this ain't really just you trying to do right now. So like, I think I might be better off if I did this. But I ain't even have to have the conversation because it's that day that like I told my wife, like, all right, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was expecting this call when I picked up. He said it before me. So I was like on the other side, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
Right.
able to like let me go do my thing with the records. Yo, you could keep the records. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna ride with you and still provide me opportunity to feed my family by going on tour with them. You know what I'm saying? Opening up some shows, or either not, or hype man in either way, and still coming back and bringing money home. So it was a dope opportunity, man.
Right.
Wow, that's really dope. Real nice.
Where'd you find yourself after that situation with Joe?
Right here with y'all, man, because it's still going, you know what I'm saying? Even though the music with Joe, like we still got some music we working on and stuff like that. The music is not really his priority at the moment, even though he's working on something that I'm excited about, you know what I'm saying? We putting into fruition, but I'm always working. And I think for Joe, I'm that conduit to the streets, like, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody around him is a little bit of age, a little older than me, you know what I'm saying, twin?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's really doing music. They all successful, super successful, you know.
But basically, your relationship with Joe to this day is 100%.
Yeah, man, absolutely, twin, 100%, man. I can't have no my dad once told me, man, anybody that helps your family, you know, that's a blessing, man. That's God in disguise. So like I would never have no malice for Joe, twin, even if it didn't work out for my benefit.
Right.
I still would have to figure it out. I'm not one of those dudes who's trying to spend my time like, you know, beating somebody over the head, or you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm even my natural element to I'm always like we will much rather pick up and move shop. before we would, you know what I'm saying, ever be disgruntled, because like we don't move like I'm that's not in my blood, you know what I'm saying, twin. Like if it's love, it's always gonna be love unless it's otherwise, you know what I'm saying? So for with Joe, it's like supreme love though, because it's like my uncle, you know what I'm saying, as well as a brother, a friend. So all those things, them times, twin, even if it's ever anything ever like gets me upset or anything that where I can't control, like things I can't control, there's always so much good that outweighs that. You know what I'm saying? It's like my relationship with my dad, man. My like even if there's things my dad might do, or like I feel some type of way about whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like all them good times and stuff that I had with my dad, or I seen with my daughters and stuff like that outweighs anything, you know what I'm saying? So like I keep that in my life, twin. I try not to take anything personal. Everybody's just a human, you know what I'm saying? And we pass, we move on and we pass on. So there's really no sense in holding people um personal unless they not being accountable, you know what I'm saying? Unless they just being ignorant or being like trying to hurt you, you know what I'm saying? And they not taking account, they self-responsible. But other than that, it's like it's no big deal, you know what I'm saying? Like it's all love always.
No
Yeah.
doubt.
So you from what I've seen, you've worked with some of what I would consider heavyweights, and I'm sure Sincere would agree, like Terminology, NEM, Static Select. I mean, there's a long list of artists you've been working with. How did you make those connections?
Um Terminology, I actually met him up the block, twin. Like literally, he was in a
Word.
Dominican restaurant. I just got dinner from. He was in that joint eating, and I went in to get dinner, and he was by himself. And I politely introduced myself to him, man. And he didn't, you know, he was like, "Oh, all right." And yo, God is always, that's another thing, twin. I don't walk in, I'm always in the light, like since the beginning, like somewhere down the line where I grabbed that hand, I ain't never been left alone. So like even when there's times that I'll be like, um, you know, I might introduce myself to Term, and he looked at me like, yeah, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm like, yo, I'm down with Joe Crack, man. My name UFO. And he like, oh yeah, that's what's up, man. Like, but he's eating, you know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
expect nobody to jump out. The next day, twin, I get invited to the Static release party. And as soon as they search me and let me in, who's standing there? You know what I'm saying? The first person that's standing there is Terminology. So when Terminology sees how other people embrace me, you know what I'm saying? Rob Markman was there. God always lines it up. A few other people that I have relationships with is. So when he seen how they embrace me, it's like, oh shit. So from there, get Terminology, then Terminology, I met Static. That comes hand in hand. You know that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was my birthday in like 2017, and Term had invited me to the studio. And that's the first day I met Static. And I rap for him, and I rap like I had like maybe like 5 rhymes like on deck, like that I just knew that I could rhyme. Um, and I rhymed them all, twin, and he recorded all of them. He used all of them. Like as soon as yo, like he was sitting down, I'm rolling up, I'm smoking. He's like, yo, you got something for this beat? I'm like, yeah. He like, let me hear it. And I rhyme it, twin. And he like, all right, yo, I like that. Go in the booth, lay that. All right, so that turns out to the joint. That first verse I ever laid for Static turns out to be the joint Me, Marlon Craft, and Terminology that's on the 1982 album, the Pandemic joint. You know
Mm.
what I'm
You
saying? I
said
let
Marlon Craft, you said?
Marlon Craft. So
Yeah,
it's me,
yeah,
Marlon
yeah.
Craft, and Terminology on Static on the
Mhm.
1982. That's the first verse I ever laid for Static. You know what I'm saying? And I lay another
Damn.
joint. It turns out to be, you know, he used it for that. I laid like 3 more joints, and then that's fresh. We started doing fresh air. You know what I'm saying? It just was like that same night. So then from there, you know, everything else lines up to when I get Ransom. You know, Ransom, I reach out to Ransom. He was A&R in that cinematic at the time. He wasn't even rapping no more, twin. You know,
Right, right.
when I was asking people if when I asked Static, would I be able to give Ransom? He said he don't think so. He was like, yo, I don't think so. He not really into the joint no more. I didn't even know Static and Ransom had an album together, Twin the Proposal. So
Hmm.
Static has the albums on his wall, you feel me? But he don't have that one there on vinyl. So I didn't know that was one of his albums. So when he was like, yeah, I actually have an album with Ransom, I'm like, he's like, yeah, I don't know if you're gonna be able to get him. So I'm like, I go home, twin, I'm listening to the Ransom and Static album. I'm like, nah, I gotta get him, you know what I'm saying? So I hit him up, and he sent the verse the next night, you know, saying that leads on to same thing with Etho. You know, I already had met Etho and stuff. So I was like, yo, I got Static going, you know, and then me and Term in the process of recording Fresh Air, me and Term are recording from El Barrio with Love. You know what I'm saying? So I started recording that before Fresh Air, but me and Static were working faster than me and Term. You know what I'm saying? So like me and Static would knock out 5 joints in the night. And I was like, I already knew where we was going. So then when I finished Term, I finished them both at the same time, just about. And I had no features on the Term joint, just me and Jay, R&B artist. And I had just seen Styles P with Joe at Radio City for the Loud Anniversary 30th anniversary joint.
Right.
And I kicked it with Styles. Me and Styles always shows me love for whatever reason. Like I'll duck off with him and we'll stand on the side and we'll just smoke and you know what I'm saying? This, that, and the third. And I felt like the energy was right. So I was like, yo, Term, I'm gonna ask Styles, you know what I'm saying? And he had gave me his number. So I was like, yo, Term, I'm gonna ask Styles. He was like, all right, when you hit him, tell me so I could hit him too. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
we could
Ambush.
yeah, ambush, you know what I'm saying? But properly, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And so when I reached out to SP, man, he was more than welcoming to do it. And he was like, yo, Term already hit me. So I guess Term jumped the gun. And he was, yeah, Term hit me. He told me, he sent me the joint. His joint is hard. You know what I'm saying? I got y'all. So he was like, all I ask is that you book the studio and that you have some weed for me. I was like, well, that's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty much a day in, a day in the life.
Right.
So, something had happened. He couldn't come, like last minute, he couldn't make it to the studio, but he had promised that he was going to get the verse. Like he said, yo, I got something to do with the locks, you know what I'm saying, real quick. But when I'm done with it, I'm gonna go to the studio and I'm gonna lay the verse. So I was like, I was a little disappointed because I wanted him to come. I set the studio up, I
Right.
made everything out, but he didn't show up. After like an hour I had seen, I was like, I bet. When I woke up, I left the studio, Twin. When I woke up, his verse was in my email.
Oh, wow.
And then text from from Term, like, yo, this shit is crazy. Like Term was already like, it was like 6 a.m, and he was already like, he's like, yo, I'm getting this mix as soon as my engineer wake up. I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy. Like I'm already so I checked the Styles P feature, and it is, it was amazing, man. And that led to everybody else has just been good relationships, man, for real. Like, I'll ask, and if they down, they do it. So far it's been all love. Nobody shot me down yet. So I'm working on a Ghostface joint. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm building up the courage to ask Ghostface. He responds to my text, and that's enough for right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He pieces me and all that salam, and we talk a little bit, but like I haven't really pushed it, Twin. So I'm gathering like, if I get that one, Twin, I'm out of here. I'm like, I'm out of here. I give up. I'm good. Like,
Yeah. Do you? I mean, maybe you're not at that point yet, but do you realize that there's probably like thousands and thousands of people out there trying to get on, trying to get heard, and somehow, some way, you always find yourself being heard by the right people. Does that ever click in your mind somehow?
yeah, absolutely, Twin. I don't take it for granted. I know because I'm gonna be honest, man. I battle with a lot of like that fear of missing out, FOMO. When you open social media, you see other guys might have more popularity or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Might feel like I battle with that sometimes. So it's like but then I go outside and I'm recognized, Twin, like by people, you know what I'm saying? So I'd be like, damn, the city of like 11 million people, like people recognize me. That's not to be taken, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I live in small town in Arkansas, you know what I'm saying? Like in New York, Twin, and I'd be on the train. I was shooting basketball the other day. I went outside to shoot basketball, Twin, and there's kids out there. And they like, yo, shit, UFO. Like, I'm like, oh man, I'm dapping them up. They like, yo, what you doing here, rapper? Like, and I'm like, yo, I'm just shooting around, man. They like, oh, hey, and I'm like, man, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no platinum hits or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely don't take it for granted, Twin. It definitely crosses my mind. And I also battle with it sometimes too, because I want to go harder. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
I want to chop everybody head off, bro. Everybody like, I want to show them like, yo, this is why you should like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, because everything these guys is doing or they say they did or as nice as they think they are, I cover every checklist and I'm down to take their head off. Like, so I be getting that sometimes in my bag
Yeah,
too. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, yo, so it's like I see 5 people post somebody, I'll be like, yo, fuck that dude, man. I'm better, y'all tear his head off, man. Like, but it's all love, man. It's the spirit of the competition. It's
Of
NYC,
course.
man. You know, you can't get on the train without 5 people looking at your sneakers. And you know,
Yeah,
we see you, twin. The first thing we looking at is if you dress like a pool putt, we not even dealing with you. Like, that's
right.
just how it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. Like, yo, bro, I know people see me. They see a Puerto Rican cat sometimes or whatever they see. Like, you don't expect this. So, like, I go hard. I try to go hard with this lyrical shit. Try to be like, so for cats to be like, yo, he like the Spanish. Nah, so like he give it up like this. Like, yo, bro, you don't understand how many nights I done put up hours, twin, writing, just writing the stuff y'all ain't even hear. Lines of it. So when I do write and I make myself smile, and it's like, yeah, bro, I don't care who up there. Like, I could get my 40-point game off too. It's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's all that matters, twin.
How did you link up with Big Ghost?
Wow, man. Go. All right. So you see this picture right here? Where's it at? Oh, this joint right here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Puerto Rican flag right here.
Yep. Yep.
So let me bring this closer. Hold on. Let me turn it. So this joint right here, right?
Oh.
Oh wow.
That's Albizu Campos, right? That's the joint. If you could see it, it got Big Ghost name in it. Let me see. Hold on. It glow in the dark. Let me see. It got Big Ghost name in there, man. Somewhere. Let me see. Hold on. I want to try to see this. Let me see.
Yeah, this is the
It got Big Ghost name in there and like glow in the dark and shit, right? So
Okay.
the guy who did that, his name is Ghost, twin. He's an artist.
Mm-hmm.
He left a comment. He's the reason I linked with Big Ghost. He left a comment on one of Big Ghost's posts one day, and he was like, "Yo, you should link with UFO Feeve and do a project called The Ghost of Albizu."
ooh, okay.
That was all that was the comment, twin. That was exactly the comment. Like, yo, he tagged Big Ghost and he was like, yo, you should link with UFO Feeve and do a project called The Ghost of Albizu. Yo, twin, when I seen that shit blew my mind.
Mm.
Ghost DM me right away. Like, yo, you see, like I sent the joint to Ghost and he was already, the bubbles was already there. Like, he was like, yo, I'm on it. So I was like,
You were already familiar with his production?
yeah, I was a fan. I was, the Griselda Ghost, man, and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and like I said, when you open the app, you see 10 people supporting it, posting it, you like, yo, who that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is this? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like,
right.
that's the type of vibe I be on. If I see y'all post 4 or 5, I might follow y'all. I see y'all post somebody, I see somebody else. Fadeaway Barber posted them. This person posted them. You're gonna be like, oh, like, what's this? You know what I'm saying? So, like, and this was early on. Remember, twin, wasn't a lot of us in the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I
Right.
caught my vinyl deal 2016, 2017. Like, I got Bible on vinyl. Like, a lot of my early stuff was on vinyl right around with Griselda. So
Mm.
when they wrote that, I was like, oh, nah, this is it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when he wrote I'm on it, I was like, oh, nah. Now I get the short. Like, I was already like, oh, nah, I'm going to show him. Now I'm gonna show him. Like, the Static joint is like, yeah, Static is gonna let me in the door and like have everybody like, cause I remember Joe. We had a meeting with Mass Appeal, twin. I was supposed to sign with Mass Appeal, and we played Fresh Air, and they turned it down, twin. It was
Oh,
like, yo,
wow.
we're not looking to sign. It's a long cause, another podcast, twin. But when we left, Joe was like, yo, that album is great. Like, Joe was like, Joe was upset. He's like, yo, you and Static, like, well produced. Like, I like to hear you like that. Like, I like to hear you produced. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when Ghost was like, yo, yeah, I'm like, oh nah. Like I told y'all, twin, like, they think they seen it until they ain't see it. You know what I'm saying? So when he sent the joints, it took him like a year. And I was on his body, like, yo, what's up, man? You know what I'm saying? And I guess one day I aggravated him. He was like, not, God, yo, piece of ghost, man. I know not aggravated might be, but he was like, yo, Fee, I don't want you to think like I'm lying to you, man. Like I'm actually gonna get you the music. Just chill. And he showed me like his catalog of all the stuff he was working on, you know what I'm saying? The stuff that's come out now that y'all know, or stuff that didn't even come out that he just showed me. He's like, yo, this is everything I'm working on. I'm gonna get it to you. Just give me some time. I'm like, yo, after he said that, I'm like, say no more. Don't even trip. Like, I ain't even worrying about it. And this is before COVID, twin, you know what I'm saying? So sorry guys.
You good.
He actually sent me the files, twin, 10 joints, and they were like that. Like the same records. There was no swap outs, no none of that. They were actually with the project y'all heard, that's the 10 records I got.
10? Wow.
I started writing right away, twin. Right away. Like, all right, best, say no more. And luckily I had records like Danger, stuff like that had the direction for me already.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I was doing like Broken Promises and Danger and stuff like that, I did those right away, twin, because I knew where they were going. So I wrote those, and then I added the stuff like Trinidad versus Camacho. I did those during the end of like, all right, let me add my men that sing, you know what I'm saying? But once I got the rhyming part out the way, I did El Maestro first. Once I sent them El Maestro, he was like, oh, nah, we off. Because I remember I sent that with the skit attached. I found out Bizu skit. And I was like, yo, I put it there for him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, this is what it is. And I don't know if Ghost is Spanish. I never met him. You know what I'm saying, twin? I don't know who he is, what he looked like. It could be a female, twin.
Right.
No idea, bro.
Right.
I'm being completely honest. And the information I do know, I'm taking into the grave. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know when I sent them now Bizu and stuff and all that. I didn't know if he was going to like understand it, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I just put it there and I went, man, and he was like, oh, nah, we got this. This is it. And it was over after that. You know what I'm saying? That's when I started recording everything. I recorded everything like in a week. Like, because I had like 2 sessions that 1 week. In them 2 sessions, I got everything done.
Very dope. Take us back to last year's work with Vanderslice.
Wow, man, Vanderslice, yo, man, damn, that's my heart right there, man. I got so much love for Vanderslice. I'm doing an interview.
Hey,
how you doing?
Hi.
That's
Hi.
little UFO right there.
all
It's
right.
little UFO. Hey,
Yeah.
your dad. Hey, you got a special dad, huh?
You heard him?
Your dad is something special.
I don't have studio. I'm doing an interview with the fellas. Then I'm gonna help you out with whatever you need.
I don't need help with anything.
All right, so peace out. Get out of here. Close the door, please.
Okay.
Keep your sister quiet too. So yeah, Vanderslice is my heart, man. Vanderslice, I've known him since like 2015, 2014. And we always been working. Oh, here come the other one, guys.
It's all right.
Can't be one without the other.
It's
Look.
all right.
Say hi, mama.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
What's up?
What's up? How you doing?
Good.
Good.
All right. So
Beautiful.
See you later. Go, Wilita. Go. Let that work. Here, take this. See you later. Take your shoes off too, please. She just walked by it. Yeah, twin. Vanderslice.
Beautiful daughters, by the way, man.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. Vanderslice is yeah, man. So we at Vanderslice were working on the Enigma Dolly for like 4 years, twin, because we was like, we would like trying to be perfectionists. So like we would really fine tuning it. And then Vanderslice caught his Fed case, man. And he was scheduled to do time. And by the graces of God, COVID happened, twin. So the album ends up getting picked up by Coal Mine and Fat Beats. So we got to wait for the vinyl because COVID, you know what I'm saying? And in the midst of that, Vanderslice has a sentencing, and we kind of nervous. We expecting him to go in. So I asked him to send me another batch Because I'm like, yo, you know what? Enigma Dolly had taken so long, right? And had worked on it so hard. And then the vinyl process was taking so long, twin. And we was going through the industry, the label politics with it and all that. I was like, yo, you know what, man? That if you do go inside, send me another batch. So he sent me like another 20 joints, and I recorded the Most High in like one session, so in like another session and a half. And I sent it to him, and I was like, yo, listen, whenever they decide to drop Dolly, we're gonna do the Enigma, we're gonna do the Most High to follow that up, just in case you inside, that we could continue to drop music and at least get you some revenue, you know what I'm saying? Put some money on your books, all that good stuff. So that had happened, and he didn't go in. So all the music came out, and we had worked it like it was a process. But by the graces of God, he's still a free man. So that's been awesome. You know what I'm saying? To have him, even though he was on house arrest and all that stuff, but the fact that he's out, you know what I'm saying, is a blessing. So
Right.
he got sentencing coming up next month, and I just did the same thing. Like, yo, send me another batch. Like, so he just sent us another batch that me and my partner Red Inf, we about like 4 songs into already. And speaking to him yesterday, he was like, yo, I cooked up, I'm gonna send you some more. So like, he's supposed to be sentenced next month, April 20th or something like that. He got sentenced in. God bless him. We riding with him, and we gonna have Vanderslice music out. Whether he's in or he's out, we got him. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep his name alive. Whatever I got to do to help him and hold him down. That's my brother.
Right.
So,
When can we expect the project that you're already 4 tracks into?
I was praying it could be ready by summer, man, because my inspiration for it was like the J Electronica Jay-Z album, where it's just like super fly beats and like, you know,
yeah.
so me and Red are talking, you know, next level stuff, and I'm just trying to find the illest Vanderslice beats that I could use, and try to, you know, keep it simple, man. I don't want to, because I got other projects coming out this year that are very special, you know what I'm saying? So like, I don't want to do nothing that's not special. So like this joint with Red on Vanderslice, I wanted to be presented like a project with like knowledge based street stuff, but like top tier MCing, you know what I'm saying? Twin, I wanted to be like considered like that. If you want to hear some good lyrical stuff, that's gonna be it.
Right. Any other projects you can elaborate on after the release of the album we were just talking about? What do you got coming up after that one?
Absolutely, twin. So right now I got E Pluribus Unum out with DJ J Hart. That's available everywhere right now. We waiting for some artwork back. I got a project with a dope producer out of Toronto. His name is Finn. You know, he's a part of the BBM crew with Daniel Son and Future Wave and all those guys. So me and him have a project coming called Blood on the Bills. That joint got Pro Dillinger on it, Cypher Souls, Red Inf. You know, a lot of the Canadian artists on that joint. And my brother Red Inf. After that's when I got a joint called Sunsets in the Ghetto. And that's going to be that's produced by a producer out the Bronx by the name of Crisis. He did Cortez's last joint, a
Okay.
lot of the joint on the Cortez album, and he's a really good dude, man. He's from Soundview, so I want to showcase him and let the world know he got some talent. You know, he's done stuff with like Etho and Flea Lord, but we got a whole joint coming, man. And after that, twin, I'm looking to close the year with 2 projects, right? One of them is going to be like various producers. Like I just dropped Prayer, Weed, and Music in November. I'm going to try to like do another one of those, twin, with various producers. And then I got Spanish Rain. Me and Spanish Rain got a joint called Painting Houses. Y'all the first one to know, twin. You know what I'm saying?
Nice,
So
nice.
We appreciate that.
we about like, I ain't gonna lie, I thought I was done recorded like 10 joints. Rand is like, nah, I need like, he's trying to squeeze the juice out the headphones. Rand see that, yo, Rand, you gotta stop, man. Like, yo, he be busting my chops. So I'll go record 2 songs, yo, record another 3 real quick. So
real quick.
yeah, because you know what it is, man. Sometimes these guys get spoiled, man. You know, I work hard, twin. So
Yeah.
with Rand, I went in there one Saturday, twin. I did 5 hours. I recorded 7 songs.
Damn,
You know,
bro.
looks, everything, twin, 5 hours. So like they was Tree Mason, a lot of people in the lab just looking, like, you know what I'm saying? And Next session, 2 hours, I did 3 songs. You know what I'm saying? So we like it gets spoiled. Like, yo, Fee, just knock out another 2 while you there. Like, it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
sometimes I'll be dead, twin. I'll be tired. You know what I'm saying? I might get high. Sometimes I'll go over there just to chill. I won't even want to record. I just want to chill. And he'd be like, yo, Fee, come on. Like, you hear anything you like? And I'll be like, damn. You know, 4 albums if you let them tell it, man. But
Yeah, right.
already, man, is very, 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 very special. All of them are dope, man. They all different. Nothing is the same, twin. Finn joint, you're gonna get that raw. It sounds grimy. Finn joint is like, it sounds like not grimy, twin, is grainy. It
Okay,
sounds
okay.
like vinyl, twin, is crackly.
Right,
It's
right.
is that twin, like, ooh, you know, that headphones late night, that good old, and then Sunsets in the Ghetto with Crisis is like that big music, that street, that Ross, you know what I'm saying, that Fat Joe is like street music, but it's that like summertime, that good. It's not like radio stuff, is still hard, but the beats are like bigger, you know what I'm saying, the good 808s, all that is not underground based music. It's not just drumless samples and stuff like that. But the Spanish Ran joint, though, is what you will want to hear. Is like, yo, I want to hear like that straight, like, damn, what sample is that? You know what I'm saying? Like an Asian
Right.
sample with the, so they all it's all like referring back to twin, like might be a little bit of Spanish food, a little
Right,
Jamaican
right, right,
food,
right.
you know what I'm saying? A
Right,
little
right.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Gotcha, gotcha.
all that vibes.
Right, right. Well, yeah, I just want to say real quick, man, we try, you know, not that we try, we represent what we like to say, that true hip hop feeling, right? And just listening to you right now, describing all of that, man, you just sent chills through my body. I'm like, yo, you got to put this out quick. I'm
Nah,
ready.
yo, twin,
You know what I mean?
yo, twin, they on my body. Yo, the people that be in the studio, man. I hope y'all all see this. Everybody that be at the church or be at the lab when we record, yo, they on my body, twin. They don't want, yo, they want that. They want, yo, you gotta drop this. You gotta put it out. The only person that's taking his time is Spanish Ran. Spanish Ran is not in no rush. He like, yo, Fee, we gonna like, I appreciate Spanish Ran's work ethic, man, because like I'll record over a beat, twin, and I go back and he changed the beat. You know, he plays my vocals, he changed the whole record, he made the beat to what, you know, so I'm like hearing new records, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh man, this is crazy, you know. So I appreciate Spanish Ran and his process. I appreciate Finn for allowing me to create over his stuff, man. Crisis. I'm very excited because I know, and the way I'm approaching them, how I'm gonna roll them out for y'all and give them to y'all, I know it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, twin, it's gonna be like good, you know what I'm saying? So I'm excited for that, man, because like I said, everything is different, and I'm dying to show y'all where I'm at with it.
No doubt.
Please let us know, man. Send it, you know, get it to us however way.
Absolutely.
We'll make sure to push it out there for you as
You
well.
guys are in the first batch. That's a
For
fact.
real, for real.
Right. Hey, we appreciate everything you've done for the culture, everything you continue to do. Before we get out of here, we got one more question. But before we do that, can you let the viewers know where they can keep up with you social media wise moving forward?
Yes, sir. Instagram, UFO Fev at UFO FEV. Twitter, same thing at UFO Fev. Everywhere online, everything is the same. Facebook, UFO Fev. Follow me. You could Google me. And thehighenterprise.com is the website.
No doubt. Uncle E.
He said we had one more, but I actually got two.
Let's go.
The first one is, you have your two daughters there. Do they have any idea about what their dad does, who he is? Are they in the loop at all, or are you just
My
dad?
7-year-old got friends that's, you know, be telling her who I am and stuff. But you know, the other day I walk my daughter to school every morning. I had to show, you know, they line up in the front, twin, you know, I had to show some of her friends pictures of NAMs and, like, you know what I'm saying? Because she was like, you know, they say you don't know the Bing Bong guy. And they saying that.
Right.
I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't know NEMS as NEMS the way we know him, twin.
They know him because of the TikTok and all of that.
7-year-old and 8-year-old kids.
Yeah,
you know
that's
right. The Bing Bong guy is more famous than NEMS we know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you don't know the Bing Bong guy. You don't know.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know Fat Joe. And my daughter's like, yes, my dad. You know. So when the other day she came home, twin, she was like, you know, my friends are saying this, that, and the third. I was like, you want me to go with you? and showed them some pictures, and she was like, yeah, like that. I was like, Mama, you want to prove to them for real that we like your dad? And she was like, how you gonna do it? I was like, you want to take my phone? We can show them the pictures. And she's like, yeah, let's go. So when we went, you know what I'm saying? She's like, Dad, like we stood there. I slightly forgot for a second. She's like, Dad, show him. You know what I'm saying? So like, I pulled my phone. I was like, you guys know Penny's dad is, you guys know I'm Penny's dad, right? You know, the little boys, you know, they like, yeah, Penny's dad. I'm like, I got some friends that are popular and famous, and I start showing them names, you know, and they all like, whoa.
So you have a picture like with you and Nems together?
Yeah, I got a few.
I might have to ask you for a favor. I might have to ask you if you could put that picture up so that when I show my kids, because I be telling them about people we've interviewed and stuff. Yeah. They know Bing Bong, just like you said, right? So I'm gonna have to show them that picture. Like, look, this is who I just interviewed.
These are my friends right here. These are the guys I know. Yep, these are the guys I know because that's what they love. Twin, and if they see it on social media, it's famous. You know, my daughter be like, "Yo, you on YouTube?" You know, that's their stuff. Like, "Oh, you on YouTube?" Like, so yeah, Twin, they kind of know, but
that's
I'm
cool,
still just
man.
that. I'm still
that's
just
cool.
that.
That's a blessing. So the question that we have to, before we get out is, hip hop is getting ready to turn 50 years old soon. What are your thoughts and takes on that?
Beautiful, man. Beautiful, Twin. You got the book behind you, Born in the Bronx.
Yes,
you got your memorabilia behind you, Twin, from Raekwon in the Snow Beach to those are moments, Twin. Ghost with the big eagle on his arm. You got Doom. Look, Twin, I got my own. I got stuff that mean from this culture. This is from our culture, Twin. You know what I'm saying? This ain't like, I was there for the groundbreaking of the museum.
Oh wow. That's what we're talking about.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying, Twin. I got
nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They gave this to Joe, but then Joe being Joe, he took the actual real shovel. Yeah, like so he was like, yo, Phoebe, hold this, because he was like, yo, hold the shovel. So when they gave him the shovel and he did the dirt, I had this, and I'm like, yo, crap. He like, yeah, I already know. So he put it on his shoulder. You know, I was already going to tell her. He was like, I already know. He put it on his shoulder like a fat twin, and he's walking around with this exact joint.
Yeah. But the real one.
Got the date on it and all that, you know, the real like mayor joint. And he took it, Twin, and I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna keep this one.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got the real joint.
That's dope.
That goes to show you, man, no matter how much success you have in life, you can't take the New York out of some people, bro.
No, you can't take the hip hop out of us, Twin.
Oh, that too.
We hip hoppers from New York.
That too.
Hip hoppers from Cali that act the same way, Twin.
I know.
Because we hip hop, you can't let us in certain events, Twin, and act like yo, Twin. Word to mommy. Look, Twin, hold on. I stole this from the Wu-Tang Clan dressing room at Rolling Loud, Twin.
Dope. I've done the same thing. I got a jizzle when I stole from his dressing room.
This was in the Wu-Tang dressing room. So everybody's talking like this, Joe hugging them, and I'm like, this is hip hop, Twin. They certain things. Dope. It's just it's not gonna be there if you let us.
Yeah, that's great.
We all got a room. Look at your shrine, Twin. They look good in there. You got when I'm the devil on your shoulder. Don't ever go. Hear my voice. Take that, Twin.
Yeah.
No doubt. Thank you, UFO Feed, for the opportunity. Man. Anything you got, be sure to blast it off our way. Like I said, this has been Changing Other Hip Hop Guards podcast. I am the Journalist Sinseer. That's my partner, Uncle E. That's UFO Feed. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Much success to you.
Man.
Much success to you, man. Keep it going.
We rocking, man. We're already successful, Twin. We here.
Yes, sir.
Take care of them daughters. Beautiful.
Yes, sir.
All right.